So our first proposal
So our first proposal
going to be from Occupy the Hood,
is going to be
but they have voluntarily decided to table it.
involuntarily decided to table it.
So it might be coming back in the future.
It might be coming back in the future.
Oh, I trust it will. I hope it will. I hope it will. So you want to?
Mic check.
Mic check.
Our second proposal.
Our second proposal.
What's from Walnut?
What's from
But
Walnut?
it's no longer needed.
Wellness.
And Walnut, Benji's gonna explain why.
Ben's gonna explain why.
Mic check.
Mic check.
So we started a proposal
We started a proposal
and turned it in,
and turned it
and
in.
I was going to ask the GA
And I was going to ask the GA
for $100
for $100
for medical supplies
for medical supplies
for F29,
for F29,
the Walmart thing.
the Walmart thing.
Somebody apparently was watching the listserv
Somebody was watching the listserv.
and anonymously made a donation
Donation.
specifically to that,
Specifically to that.
inadvertently undermining the
The
proposal.
proposal.
So I'm making this announcement
This announcement.
as a call
That's a call
for more medics,
for more medics.
and this money is going to be going towards supplies,
Supplies.
hopefully not needed.
Hopefully not needed.
Can you just sit there?
They'll just sit there.
Yeah. So we don't need it. It's better when we don't do our job for medics. For everyone else.
Yeah, no broken
Yeah,
foot.
so more medics, F29, Mira Loma, also Occupy the Hood. Tonight, tomorrow, show support.
Woo!
Yeah, people are awesome with generosity. So our third proposal is gonna happen. Hopefully, it's from Joan, and it's in support for Alex and his family. Where's Joan? Oh, hi. Okay.
Hey everyone,
Hey everyone.
I made this sign.
I made this sign.
It's supposed to make us smile.
Supposed to make us smile.
I have to do this proposal.
I have to do this
I
proposal.
really regret that I have to do it.
Really regret
But I hope that you support it.
But I hope that you support it.
I'd like for us
I'd like for us
to transfer
to transfer
$1,000
$1,000
from our general fund
from our general fund
to Alex's memorial fund.
to Alex's memorial fund.
And then I'd like for us to take 2%
To take 2%
of every donation
of every donation
to the general fund
to the general fund
moving forward
moving forward
and give it to
to
Alex's family
Alex's family
in tribute
in tribute
for the work that he did
for the work that he did
at the camp
at the camp
and here at our GA.
And here at the GA.
That's essentially the proposal.
That's essentially the proposal.
2% equals
2% equals
$20 for every $1,000 we raise.
For every $1,000 we raise.
Okay, now we're gonna take
Now we're gonna take
questions of clarity.
questions of
Is
clarity.
there something you don't understand about this proposal? Please see your stackers.
I'm going to skid over to me.
This proposal right here. The
I'm not sure
proposal
about camp, but
is
I'm
for
gonna
Alex
join your
Memorial
march.
Fund,
Yeah.
$1,000, and then
I don't have a
2%
stupid bag,
for
so I
every,
can camp on a stupid
um,
bag.
for every other donation that
Lucky
we
you.
get to the general fund. From the general
Why
fund.
is that lucky?
You're not gonna stay
Any questions
overnight.
of clarity?
I'm lucky to not stay.
Yeah, I have a question of clarity with this because what I read on the proposal on the internet,
Mic check.
Mic check.
Mic check.
in a sense, a little different right now.
I can't hear you. Sounds a little different right now. I'd like to hear
The
you.
proposal, I want the clarity, we say 2% out of the general fund every time there's a donation or contribution. When is the sunset clause, and this is to go on in perpetuity?
Where's the sunset
Ah,
In
perpetuity.
the proposal,
In the proposal,
I envisioned it
I envision it
as in perpetuity.
as in
As a
perpetuity,
tribute
as a tribute
to him and
to his and his
and his
family,
sacrifice,
and his sacrifice,
for the amount of time, effort, and energy he put into the movement.
For the amount of time, effort, and energy he put into this movement.
But I'm also open to friendly amendments if the movement says so.
But I'm also
Open.
friendly members.
Do you have another question? Yeah. Yeah, so we'll open up friendly amendments after we're done with the questions of clarity, just because we want to make sure that first everyone understands the proposal. Then we can do some friendly amendments, concerns, and so on and so forth. Liberty. So Liberty.
Yeah, mic check.
Mic check.
I had a question about the 2%.
I had a question about the 2%.
Apparently, if we use the 2%,
Apparently, if we use the 2%,
50 times,
50 times,
we have no more money.
we have no more money.
Is this number true?
That doesn't make sense.
That makes sense.
No, I don't know what that means. It's only
That doesn't make logical sense.
I'm sorry. It's only for
It's only for
2%
2%
of donations
of donations
coming in
coming in
from this point forward,
from this point forward,
which is about
$20
$20
for every $1,000.
So if we raise
$30,000
in
6 months,
his family, particularly his child, would be given $600.
$600. If we get
Any other questions? No questions? Okay, so really quickly, let's just take a temperature check and see how people feel about this proposal. And I feel like there's already been some. Is there a point of process?
But it's from Africa.
We just got a big chunk.
Do you have a question?
We have more than 10,000. We just got money from Shepherd Ferry. Shepherd Ferry.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so
It was from the Sarah art.
So please get on set. You have concerns about this proposal, so we can start talking about this. Okay. That's awesome. How much did he get?
I don't know.
Okay, so JoJo is up first. Hey.
Mic check. I can understand the $1,000. But the 2%. Okay, what if somebody else dies? If somebody else dies. Thank you.
Hey. Comment?
Hey.
Come on, language.
All right, ready up.
Hostility. Comment? Can I make a comment? Okay, can I get Zach to make a comment? Yeah, Laura, how can you make Okay.
Essentially, if someone else were to pass away, it would be up to the General Assembly to bring a proposal and do what they feel. I took action. This is incredibly hard for me.
I oppose the 2% perpetuity, not because I lack humanity, but as my other comrade said, someone else dies, and other people are going to die. This is a movement.
Other people are going to die. This is a movement.
That's what we do. So other people said, if you did it for him, you got to do it for me too. And it would be right. And then someone else dies, and someone else dies, and the same deal perpetuity, eventually the general fund will be broke. You do the numbers. So I'm for the $1,000. The fees helping the family. But I oppose that because for me, that's not logical. But I have the organizational wherewithal to help them in providing services including housing and everything else they may need. So we can do that. But everyone may be expecting, or my loved one died, I want the same deal. And then this other person, so when does it stop?
When does it stop? When does it stop?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Hi, my name is Laura.
No, she's gonna respond.
Oh, you want to? Okay.
Hi, my name is Laura. I'm a friend of Jones. Alex was a valued member of our community.
Alex was a valued member of our community.
From the beginning, he worked his fucking ass off for us.
He worked his fucking ass off for us.
He did massive amounts of art and publicity for our movement. He gave 100% of his soul to us. And to correct the people that are confused. We're not saying give him $1,000. We're saying give him 2%. Of every $1,000 made after this point. And I think that is minuscule compared to the amount of time and his soul he gave to this movement. So if you're concerned of other people dying, you can bring it up then. But we will not make this moment small. Because his life wasn't small. And he wasn't a small member of this fucking society. Thank you.
Thank you.
Woo! Yeah.
I think when it comes to money, it's okay for people to be concerned.
I think when it comes to money, it's okay for people to be concerned.
I love Alex, and he was amazing, and what his energy. For this proposal, we're giving his family money. Helping to support his beautiful child. And if that needs to change, 2% becomes too much, then we'll change it. It's a simple proposal. So we don't need to set a time limit to support his family. If you have money that you can give, I'm doing and others are doing. Then do it.
Okay, we're gonna close tags. For concern. We have 4 people on stack right now. David is next.
Dave.
Hello, everyone. White privilege.
Hello, everyone.
I am white and privileged.
Yeah! White privilege.
I understand that. However, I do not want to see one person made bigger than the movement. That is my concern with this proposal. I understand that he passed. It hurts. But he is not bigger than the movement. So giving him his family money in perpetuity would actually go against the movement. I'm sorry.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adonis.
Adonis!
Everybody give yourself a hand for being here tonight. Because you make the difference here.
That's right.
You continue to be part of this Occupy LA. Okay? It's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing.
I put this on the internet, and I appreciate that everybody showed up here today.
That's right.
Occupy Maine is going to be a success, not because of the organizers, not because of the people who put forth and writing these documents down, because of you folks here today.
That's right.
That's why it's going to be a success.
Yeah!
So I'm grateful, and I'm humbled by what you're doing here today.
Thanks, man.
I want to talk about what they were talking about, giving that guy 2%. We can always change that. You know, If 2% is too much, we can give that 1%, but we got to give something from us because he's giving us so much. We can't send somebody out into the dark, after he's been trying to help and assist us to achieve what we need to achieve. Okay? And that's the whole, not just the one. Because he put the whole ahead of his one when he chose to come down here and be away from his family and whatnot. Okay?
That's right, Adonis.
So I thank you very much all for being here today. Occupy Maine, that's what's going on tonight. God bless, and thank you very much.
Yeah!
Hi, Chad.
Hi, Chad.
I want to follow what Adonis said. I didn't know Alex that much. But I saw him all the time. Be it at Occupy LA encampment. Over at Occupy Venice. Or over at different places. He always gave everything. My concern is that we abandon him. And his child. We should show support. And solidarity. We basically adopted his son.
Reaver.
Yeah. So show your solidarity.
Show your solidarity to our family.
Now we have a friendly
Start
amendment.
up the set.
Hi, I'm Laura.
Laura.
I have a friendly amendment. Can you bear with an Alex story first?
Yes.
The night we were evicted, I came to camp. I had dirtied all my Occupy wear. And he was there screening away. And I said, do you have anything for me? I don't want to get arrested without Occupy wear. He went into the back and dug around. He came out with a gray hoodie. Maybe it was even his. And he screened a big thing on the back of it. And I had to let it dry before I could wear it. I was arrested with it. Now whenever I wear it, I'll think of him. And you guys were right, he was everywhere. Every action we went on, he was there. So we loved him. However, if we need to strike the word in perpetuity, let's do that. That makes me uncomfortable too. But it makes me more uncomfortable not taking care of his little family that depended on him.
To clarify, I don't believe that word is actually in the proposal. Yeah, the concept is, so how would you modify the concept that there is no end to this proposal? I think that...
Until further notice, we bring it up again.
You would want that's your friendly amendment, you want that language added to the proposal.
Just add that to the
Until
proposal.
further notice.
That we will bring it up in some later date if it becomes an issue.
Okay.
To be reviewed in 1 year.
We reviewed in 1 year. That's the friendly amendment is that we reviewed in about a year. How do you feel about that? Okay, we have one more concern on STAG, and then we can take a temperature check on this amendment and see how we all feel about that. If that's going to help people feel okay with this proposal. Daniel.
Hey, I didn't know Alex well. But I spent some time in jail with him. He seemed cool. I like this proposal. My proposal for a friendly amendment was just that. To add 1 year. But then after a year, we would review it. And we would have the option to extend it. Pending approval.
Okay, that's it from the stacks. So how do you guys feel this proposal with the added amendment that this will be reviewed in a year? So on February 24, 2013, we will look at this proposal again and be like, do we want to continue it or not? So, temperature check. Temperature check on this proposal with that added amendment. I still see some concerns. But if there are no hard blocks, this is considered consensus. Okay, so there are still some hard concerns about this proposal.
Wait.
Okay, so please come on staff and
Mic check!
My check!
Speak to the assembly, please.
yeah, please don't speak to me.
Alex was 22 years old.
I don't know how old is his girlfriend, but she's older. She can go to DPSS and get financial aid and food stamps. And she would have that.
Don't give her money. She has to pay rent. She has to pay rent.
And my response would be, what about coloring books, toys? We're talking about $20 for every $1,000 we bring in.
Is it also $1,000 now?
You know, a tribute.
Oh.
Stop handstand, Jimmy. Stop handstand.
It's going to be reviewed again in a year. That was a friendly amendment.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Well, people are
That kind of smaller ones give them some time to get all their services going in this time.
Mic check!
I don't know if you've ever been on welfare with a child.
That
That's
the
not
money is
enough
put to
money.
an education fund for his son. That was a suggestion.
So either we're going to talk about it or we're going to have side conversations. Either one, if you're going to do side conversations, just go further away from me. Essentially, I don't believe in telling anyone how to spend their money. I have something very against the idea of food stamps in general. People should be allowed to spend their money the way they see fit. And so I wouldn't want to insist that a family in need save money for an education that might not even be there or a possibility when that child gets of age to be properly educated. So I don't feel comfortable with it, especially because it's also a very minuscule amount of money that we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that address your concerns?
She didn't even hear the whole proposal.
Well, we don't be careful what is happening right now. Why we are here? Because we care for kids. They don't have education. There is no money. So put the money into trust fund for education. That's the best thing we can do for them.
I don't see that.
Proposal.
There's not a different
I
proposal.
don't see that.
There's not a different proposal. People don't have money. No, it doesn't. I disagree.
Exactly.
I disagree.
It's not going to help pay the rent and buy the
There was
food.
another concern. Is that a hard concern, or are you willing to stand
Buy
aside?
the baby clothes. The baby's going to grow out of its clothes like every
I saw several hard blocks though. I saw several hard blocks. Okay, are there any? Are you
I had hard blocks.
Are you gonna
Serpent, hey.
I had hard blocks.
Are there any other hard blockers?
I had hard blocks right here.
Come down! Come down!
Hey, Joe! That's my boy Joe right there. I mean, come on, guys. If we drop this, I mean, I can understand giving $1,000.
Talk to us!
I can see giving $1,000. But if we adopt 2%, when somebody else passes, we have to adopt the same thing for them. But the thing with it is, there's us that live in the streets. Okay, then now I'm gonna put a proposal up. Buy me a place for a year. I mean, that's what you're saying.
It's a difference. Yeah, you can make your own proposal.
Not all those situations are the same either.
I ain't trash talking to other people. Why you trash talking me?
So do you have an amendment or something that?
I just don't agree with the proposal.
But you can live with it.
No, I don't. I'm not. It's just not right. Because you got to think about it. People die, and I love him to death because he was my homeboy. I've done a lot of stuff with him. But the thing is, people die.
if people could just fall every day, and then we have to adopt it to every single person because we've done it before.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? The movement won't have no money.
Because we're dead.
But that,
It's only 2%.
the money will be gone.
I mean, we're not expected to die either, though. I mean,
All I need is just
geez.
Is there anything you'd like to respond to that, John?
I mean, I'm up for the friendly amendment of buying that guy an apartment, but I mean, I think it's up to the purview of this proposal. What I'm really trying to do is ensure that we actually adhere to the principles of our movement, where we actually take care of one another.
Man.
And that we recognize that we are not people in mass,
Man.
but we are people together.
Wow.
And that we have to take care of one another.
Say
and if
that.
there's some money to be spent, let's spend a little money. Right?
On us.
people over money.
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly. Next up is Omar.
Friendly amendment.
Mike check.
Mike check.
Mike check. This is an excellent
This is an excellent
way to help our comrades whatever situation
whenever situation
occurs in our eyes.
occurs in our eyes.
But my suggestion is
My suggestion is
to form a way to formulate a financial plan to be able to consolidate that infrastructure to save money and to generate money in any way to back for our comrades. And I personally would like to propose a way to come together and strategically form a financial, a collective, as quick as possible. Thank you.
We're
Where are
actually
you guys? Where you guys are?
they're right there.
Right there.
They've been twinkling the whole time, but they abstained from voting for the most part. And if you have questions about some specificities, I can ask them to come up. But as far as I remember, we are an unincorporated association, and we do have a financial structure in place and a bank account with, I believe, 4 check signers. So the monetary situation is secure. And this proposal is specifically to transfer some money from the general fund to the memorial fund.
Next up is Olivia.
I have a concern.
And I'm sorry, before you go, we're going to close stacks. We have about 4 people on stacks. We're going to close stacks and see where we are after everyone speaks. Good.
I believe absolutely give money. Give money to his family and his child.
Give money to his family and his child.
My concern though is 2% times 500 people who do become deceased in the next years. 500 people who do become deceased in the next years. I think it's absolutely imperative though that we support our families when they pass on. And I believe right now is the time to plan for that.
Yes.
Right now is the time to plan for that. And I believe we absolutely should stand with his family and support him. We absolutely should stand with him. Since he was so much part of Occupy LA. Because he was so much a part of Occupy LA.
Julie? Okay. I think that I hear both sides, and I think we should set up that collective, but there's a family with a 2-month-old child with immediate survival needs. More than 2 months old. I do think we do have a responsibility to address that as a movement, and if we don't understand that, I don't think we are really building a movement for the 99%.
Wow.
So I feel very strongly about supporting
giving this the 2% and whatever it is was up front, I'm with that too. I do believe we should review it in a year. That was addressed in the friendly amendment. I think we have a responsibility to pass this because in the immediate future, there's a child who might not have food and it's very much a part of the movement. Does that mean we don't support other children? No. That's why we're going to Skid Row tonight. We need to work with them around long-term solutions as well, but we need to build the collective. Thank you.
All right, real quick. I spoke before. This man gave a lot of his time so that we could have Occupy LA and we could do what we're doing here today. He took away from his family to come spend it with y'all. Maybe not you.
No, so did I.
Then you're entitled to the same as him because you're giving out of yourself. You know what I'm saying? And the little reward is given to you because you put forth that effort. Because not everyone can put forth that effort. Everybody else got better things to do than stand out here and be cold and trying to fix everybody else's problem. Okay? But he came out here away from his family, and now that he's gone, let's show a little solidarity. Just a little. I'm not asking for a lot. Just a little. The rest you can take home with you. Okay? But this is what this movement is about. It's about helping people, not just ourselves. And he's somebody that's passed away. They helped along this movement to get to where we need to be. And if we can't help him, who are we helping? Amen. Woo. Have a good night.
Hello, everyone. First off, I don't think we get a lot of donations. So 2% over a year is probably not going to add up to a lot. It's not that we couldn't make other use of that money. But I think this is a unique case. And it should be treated as such. How unique, I don't know. Let's hope it's really unique. But we do have someone who cared a lot about our movement, put a lot of time into it, and left the family behind that I think we should take some responsibility for. So I agree with what she's trying to do. I also see that having the 2% in perpetuity would be short-sighted. Again, we don't get a lot of donations. And the money that people donate to the cause, they generally assume is going to the cause. So reviewing this in a year would make sense.
Where is Osh?
I would say with the assumption.
Where are you?
That unless it's badly
OSH, what's that? OSH, what's that?
Oh,
San Francisco.
Oh yeah, Occupy San Francisco.
Oh, hi, San Francisco.
Technically. Although
What is that? What are you
realistically,
eating?
I don't think there is such a thing as enough.
I don't know.
This is her plate, technically.
Oh. I should eat.
I basically support it with these changes.
Really?
That it be considered a dependence fund. That it be 2%. If somebody else with dependence dies, the 2% would be split. If we want to revisit that, and increase the percent, we can. So for now it's 2%, and it is based on dependence. If I die, I don't need any of your money.
I won't need any of your money.
Children and, you know, a single woman might.
Children and a single woman might.
Okay. Oh, yeah, no, for sure. I told you. Oh, okay. Come on up. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no. Okay, yes, totally fine. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So I feel this proposal directly points to the insufficiency of our community to handle new human beings. Infrastructure was mentioned. Collective resourcing, by which I mean providing services and supplies for families, I think is much more appropriate than handing people cash. We need to be doing this together. There will be more babies.
Hell yeah.
This will happen as part of the movement. We're growing.
Hockey babies, hockey boomers.
So it's an issue that needs to be addressed.
9 months after the camp started.
How do we handle new human beings in the movement? Without a space.
Eye socket. I hear there's a lot of tit love.
We should be doing this shit already.
What
Hockey
role
babies,
does money
yeah.
play? Forgive me, but are we a charity? These are questions we need to ask.
I seriously thought this would
I
just
don't
get all
support
temple figures
money.
and be over.
Or the use of monetary trade in the movement in any way. But I understand the necessity in the capitalist structure we live in. So I understand emergency aid. But there's a bigger problem here that 2% will not correct.
Yes.
So let's not set this as the precedent. Please.
Okay, so we had a friendly amendment to this proposal. The friendly amendment was that if somebody else dies in the movement and has a dependent, we would look at this fund and split it. Or just basically have another conversation about having this fund go to somebody else who has a dependent that has died with the movement. If somebody else dies, we're going to have another conversation about this and about this fund and this money. That was the friendly amendment. Is there anything else you would like to add, Joe, to this proposal? No. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to take another number to check for consensus. This means you're standing aside, but you have concerns, but you only stand aside. But if you're still so opposed to this, you're gonna this breaks the solidarity of the movement. If you're gonna walk away from the movement, this is how you feel this strongly against the proposal. This is time to show that and then explain why. So let's check for consensus.
Yes.
That's another thing is we're checking this proposal with the friendly amendment that you said first. So temperature check. How do we feel? Are there any hard blocks? Any hard concerns in this proposal? Still a hard block. Okay. Would you like to come up? Yep. Please come up and explain why you're hard blocking.
To me, I'm personally insulted that we're just so divided. We're being accused of not caring as much for Rivers or Alex's family just because we don't jump on the first fucking idea of giving them money. I feel like it was really poorly planned, and I'm really insulted about it. Period. I feel like this is a retro. This is just what I'm seeing. I feel like it's a retroactive solution. Where we just keep giving money to people who die instead of doing some sort of preventative measures of loving our brothers and sisters, some basic preventative fundamental measures of giving access to rivers for water, shelter, food, just some basic things that we don't go marching around saying that we love Alex the most or we love his baby the most, but just some fundamental things. And that's my main hard block, and that's why I don't agree. Thank you.
The fact that we're even still talking about this on my hard block, I've been a part of Occupy LA since day 3. It's fucking absurd that we're still talking about it. It's fucking absurd. I'm gonna take off. Maybe I'll come back next month.
No, I agree with her. I agree with her.
Retarded.
This is fucking retarded that we're still walking away from it. Because she's putting the money.
Okay, so, we still have a hard block.
I'm shocked this is taking this long. Why is this taking this long?
So we have not reached consensus. And again, consensus takes a long time for us to reach. So we can keep talking about this. We can also table this.
There's drama.
We can work on this proposal.
We're passionate
and then we
people.
can come up with something better.
There's a lot of passionate people here. That's why there's always drama.
Wait.
Again, we can continue talking about this and see if we can reach something, improve upon this proposal in the future. We have come on up. Floor's open. Let's talk.
Okay. I told Joan if we can't reach consensus on this tonight, and it's too much for her, that I would bring it up again. But I think the fact that the amount of money that we're giving is so small really boggles my mind with the hard blocks.
Me too.
If any one of you have ever had anybody you love die and had to deal with it, you know that the funeral expenses alone are a whole lot fucking more than $1,000.
A whole fucking more.
And if any of you have been to a resources meeting recently, you know that we're not getting a lot of donations. So that would be a very small amount of fucking money too. Say fucking please.
Say fucking!
Fucking.
But basically, the friendly amendment that allowed for the establishment of a dependent fund is one step towards resolving some of these issues that have been brought up with hard blocks. If you have further steps that you can suggest so that we can prevent unexpected deaths from happening. I.e., you are God.
I.e., you are God.
I'm an atheist, so I don't believe in you. But there's time for you to suggest it. This proposal is now. I think it's an emergency situation.
It's an emergency situation.
So if you don't agree,
if we don't
consent, please talk to me.
Please talk to you
afterwards.
But
be prepared to support yourself. Because I don't deal with bullshit.
Listen, brothers and sisters. All right, you can repeat it. Hey, mic check. Brothers and sisters. Whatever with the 2%, we can discuss that later if need be.
funeral expenses are now. They need money now.
Now.
Okay? So I'm for splitting the thing up. Get the money to his family.
Give the money to his family.
Because Alex really helped to get us to where we are. I do understand the concerns with perpetuity.
Perpetuity.
But can we set those aside, maybe bring that part back, but get them some funeral expenses now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know who's doing the proposal. And I'm not, and I apologize to you. I'm back and forth and we're arguing about this. Okay, that's cool. Alex's family needs cash now. Okay? Because the funeral that was right. Funeral's gonna run you like a beautiful funeral run you $8,000. A shitty funeral is gonna run you $4,000. All right. So they need some help now. That's all I got to say.
Mic check.
Next up we have Beth.
Okay, I'm not gonna speak in mic check. I'm fucking loud enough. Okay. I don't know if everybody understands the history of Alex, Devin, and Rivers in this movement. Rivers came to Occupy LA as a 5-week-old child. Many of us here have watched him over the past 4 months grow up. He has spent more of his time protesting than any of us here in life. Devin, when they first came here, she lived at the occupation with the baby for the first month. Why? She had no home. Okay? We put her somewhere to live. She did get an apartment. She lives in the fucking ghetto, okay? She lives in a bad area near MacArthur Park that she sticks out like a sore thumb because she's in a bad rundown neighborhood, okay? She's scared to walk home at night. She barely makes ends meet now. If any of you know about Social Security, Alex didn't work on the books, so she won't be getting anything for the baby. She needs our help, okay? And honestly, this whole movement's about, getting rid of the banksters and the people, the corporations and everything else. And if you people care more fucking about money than people, I don't fucking want to be here. Seriously?
Mic check. Mic check. So we're gonna do a friendly amendment. Well, friendly amendment, right?
Go ahead. Steven's next.
I'd like to thank the people who brought the food. It's awesome. Also, I just want to say that whoever said we should set up a relief fund, I think it's a great idea. I mean, I think the idea of the 2%, I don't know how I feel like giving it to one person. I love Alex. I love the things he did. I want to take care of the people who are in this movement. I want to make sure we're taking care of each other. I think part of that will be eventually like establishing like a credit union and like ancillary financial services that are like Occupy oriented. But I think one thing we can do is start like a charitable fund, basically, where we say it's a support fund, people who go to jail for a long time and their families need support, or people who die and their families need support. So, I mean, I think this 2% should be a generalized dependence fund, and the only dependents we have right now would be those dependents. I mean, that would be a friendly amendment that I have to make this 2% towards a dependence or a general relief fund, specifically meant to like help people in dire need.
Next up is Swanson.
I want to back up what Adam said a few minutes ago. Alex was definitely committed to this movement. He definitely worked hard, like a lot of us did, to make it happen. If his family needs help right now, we should help them. At the same time, while we're talking about taking care of each other, I want us all to stop and think for a minute, because I was involved in some discussions about the fact that our encampment was made unsafe because of unbridled drug use. And the issue that we tried to make clear was that the real issue was not the question of personal choice about what people wanted to do with their own bodies. The issue was whether we were collectively creating a safe space in the place that we were doing action. I didn't know that Alex had a problem with drugs, but he's about the umpteenth person I've known who has died behind an addiction problem.
Okay? And many people are struggling with these issues, whether we are aware of it or not. So while we're talking about taking care of each other, let us give that some serious thought as we go along. You know, we're all learning through this process. But while we're talking about taking care of each other, let's reflect on where we stood on that question when it was raised, when Alex was still here. And how many other people who are struggling found themselves having to struggle up against the environment which we collectively created. And that is something which we should not allow to be replicated as we go down the line. And this is not to tell anybody what to do with their own body. Yes. It is a question of us creating safe spaces for everyone who participates. And when you have your personal choices, you have many options about how to exercise your personal choices. But think about taking care of the other person, whether you're aware of their condition or not.
Fuzzy, I love you.
Okay, Mike.
I just want a direct response to that because Alex is a very close and dear personal friend of mine. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to insinuate, but I just want to make it clear that when he was with the movement, he was fucking clean.
Right.
All right, he was fucking clean every day at camp. Every day, and it was a good environment for him. He made a lot of good art.
Right.
Still fucking was.
Right. Right.
Okay, I guess like I think I should just step up and say that I think I've heard enough, I've felt enough, I've watched enough. I'm willing to, if there are hard blocks against this 2% in any form, who's still hard blocking 2% that will be revisited in a year as a dependence fund. Is anybody still hard blocking that? We've got one hard block.
Who's a stacker?
That it won't go through, right?
Stack me.
Well then, my friendly amendment is that we donate $2,000 now, and then if people want, later we can revisit this 2% again, because I want this money to go to his family immediately.
Pick me.
But I do
Small
not
one.
think
Small
that
girl.
1,000 will be
Named
enough.
Stacker is. She has it.
Over time, you know.
Before they vote.
Okay, so the friendly amendment proposal is now that we're going to be given $2,000 to the fund right away to help Alex in the immediate now, and then revisit the 2% on a later time and figure out the best way to help him out and his family long term. But for right now, the proposal is only $2,000 to go to him, and go to his family. So let's take a temperature check on that. How do you guys feel about that? $2,000. Are there any hard concerns about that? Okay, so it looks like we have consensus. I'm sorry, is that hard block? Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
I don't know how much money we have, but $2,000 is not going to cover funeral costs, as someone else pointed out. It's not. It might cover rent for a month. We're trying to help.
So how is this going to break the solidarity of the movement? Pick me! Pick the fucking small one! Hey! Who the fuck is the stacker?
She has you down. She has you down.
That satisfies a
please speak to me
personal,
in some way.
hold on, I'm directing at him now. A personal feeling of helping. Actually helping someone. Well, I don't think it's pick the fucking small one. At a later time sounds as silly as
Yeah.
You want some?
Yeah.
It's with dressing. I haven't used it.
With this, then you're next in stack.
Who's the paying here?
Okay, so that's 2 hard blocks.
Okay, so you guys still have two hard blocks. I mean, it seems like $2,000 will still do something.
I mean, there.
Do you know personally what
No, I don't personally know.
How about we
Well, besides the funeral,
that will help them. Instead of just throwing out an arbitrary number, that might just be a token.
You can't understand where $2,000 would help? Baby food, diapers. I mean, come on. 2,000
Yeah, come on. Jesus.
That's 3 weeks ago. Hey, it doesn't matter. If we blocks and we can break into 3 groups right now, or we can
Why are we still talking about this?
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Hey,
Who cares?
Mic check!
okay. So,
That is irrelevant.
Wait.
I didn't
Wait.
it's irrelevant. Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?
So come on. Leave your emotions someplace else.
come on, we're honoring it. We're honoring all this.
Joan said she was going to table it and people were going to...
All right, we're
Why should we table this?
He's not hurt lucky. Payout was, and I told him to call the people, and I walked away from him. And now he's acting like the hard luck.
They said 2,000 in the process. But then they had luck in the
Mic check!
Mic check!
We're having a procedural debate. I'm sorry. You can give us like 30 seconds. To break out and talk about this real quick within facilitation.
Break out, talk about it.
I know this is obnoxious.
Oi, chickadee! Chickadee!
I need to buy a hat from Sunshine.
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
Mic check!
On further consideration,
On further consideration,
facilitation committee
facilitation committee
has determined
has
that
determined
when we took the initial temperature check,
when we shoot the initial temperature check,
the proposal as amended
as
2 grand going to the Memorial Fund
going to the Memorial
was
Fund
consensus upon.
was consensus upon.
We reached consensus.
We reached consensus.
Only then did the hard block get thrown up.
Only after the hard block.
So we're going to call it consensus. And that's that.
And the guy who hard blocked isn't paying attention and doesn't know that
Next
it just passed.
proposal is from Billy.